Peace. This is Waz for Waz Words Media back at y'all for another round. And fight fans, Vasily Lomachenko made his return in almost a whole year since he lost to Devin Haney. Man, time flies, man. It's been already almost a whole year. And he took on ferocious George Kambosas in what was practically a one-sided affair. This was practically what I had anticipated going into this fight. You see, because Kambosas is not an A-class fighter by no means, nor is he a B-class fighter. Kambosas had an A-class performance against Teofimo Lopez, and that propelled his name, catapulted him to one of the top names in the 135-pound lightweight division. But by no means was George Kambosas the real deal. He was just more fortunate to have met a Teofimo Lopez at a time that was distracted, that was not gordo. You know, he wasn't Teofimo Lopez that was lighting up the amateurs and that had that stellar start to his professional boxing career, and that even the fight before that beat on the same Lomachenko that Kambosas fought this past weekend. So that was not the same Teofimo Lopez for whatever reason. Maybe some of the success got to his head and he wasn't as focused as he was before. Especially beating Lomachenko, who was the man in that division for years. So beating him probably put that little extra pizzazz on him, where he felt like, you know what, man, I got this, man. If I could beat this guy, I could beat anybody. And he overlooked Kambosas. Kambosas came in there in that fight. He looked at Teofimo Lopez during the press tour and said, "You're fat, you're overweight, you're out of shape, and I'm gonna punish you for that." And things played out exactly that way. Teofimo Lopez in the very first round goes down from a counter overhand right. And that's pretty much George Kambosas' style. He's more of a counter puncher. He's not the aggressor. And, he does counter punch pretty good. So that's what was able to bring was able to give him success in the Teofimo Lopez fight, when he countered him early and Teofimo Lopez never fully recovered from that. But now you have him pair up against a masterclass fighter, as first he fought Devin Haney, and Devin Haney in both fights was completely one-sided. And now against Vasily Lomachenko, another legend, another A-class fighter that just completely steamrolled him. Vasily Lomachenko was very accurate with his jab, with his straight left. His feints were really good. He was changing levels on Kambosas. He was cutting the ring off tremendously, which is one of the things that Lomachenko does very well. If you try to outbox him or circle pivot, he's going to, once he doesn't respect your power, he is going to narrow that ring down, and you're not going to have much room to work with. And that's when Lomachenko gets busy and he's at his most dangerous, when he doesn't respect your power. And that's what happened this past Saturday. He didn't respect Kambosas' power, so he just started walking right through his punches, cutting the ring off, and eventually getting the stop in the late rounds with a body shot, a liver shot right to the right side of the body. Boom. Down went Kambosas, and that was all she wrote. So now we have Vasily Lomachenko is walking around with the red strap. He has the IBF championship because this was a vacant title fight. The winner will be now the new IBF lightweight champion. And congratulations to Vasily Lomachenko for winning that fight. He is now the IBF 135-pound lightweight champion. And with that established, there's a lot of good fights now. A lot of potential good fights, namely one with Shakur Stevenson. Yes, if Shakur Stevenson gets past his opponent in July, and some people are giving Shakur Stevenson slack for this fight. Listen, Shakur Stevenson tried to fight Lomachenko. He tried to fight Kambosas. He tried to fight both of these guys. They both declined. He tried to fight Pitbull Cruz. He tried to fight, you name it. Like, he was calling out the best. Frank Martin. He was trying to call these guys out, and nobody wanted to fight him. So, by default, he has to take a fight. And the fight that he's actually taking is not that easy. Just because you don't recognize the name is not that easy. But for those that do remember who this guy is, he is the guy that just fought Frank Martin in his last fight. And he gave Frank Martin a very, very tough fight. Frank the Ghost Martin did not have an easy night. That was a long, hard-fought battle for Frank Martin. So we know if he was able to hang with Frank Martin, this guy's no slouch. So we're not going to overlook that. Shakur Stevenson has to take care of business. He has to beat him coming in July. And then, if he beats him, we may be in line for a big, super fight at the end of the year between Shakur Stevenson and Vasily Lomachenko. That will be a great masterclass. 2 chess boxes. That would be amazing. Also, another person who threw his name in the hat was Tank Davis. Tank Davis had tweeted something about a fight between him and Lomachenko. So there could be some very interesting fights here for the IBF title now that Lomachenko is the champion. And now we just have to see if the other parties take care of business. You have Tank Davis going up against Frank Martin next month. And you have Shakur Stevenson taking on, I forget his name, please forgive me. But, the gentleman did fight Frank Martin, gave Frank Martin a very hard fight. So this shouldn't be an easy fight. Shakur might make it look easy because he is that talented, but this is no slouch he's going up against. This is a guy that comes in there to win. And, we'll see how that goes. If Shakur gets past him, that will line things up for a mega fight, a mega showdown, which should be easy to make because they're both top-ranked fighters under Bob Arum. So we'll see how the rest plays out. I'm Waz for Waz Words Media. Peace.